Helium HNT price is under immense pressure. Almost all indications of future price movement are turning negative, and sentiment on Twitter, although a tiny population size, is very poor. This, of course, can be indicative of a local bottom for this cycle, but with the technicals being so poor and the larger macro picture likely to worsen before it gets better, it's hard to tell what HNT might do next. Nearing a pivotal price area on the charts, I would expect a big move in the HNT price over the next few days. The question, of course, is in which direction. Let's take a look at the charts in today's video. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here in the Crypto Compound channel. Today we have another technical analysis video. Haven't made one since about a week ago, but a lot has changed here on the chart. We had some very negative confirmation on the weekly time frame. As you can see here, that was what we discussed the last technical analysis video. As you can see, clearly closing twice and opening below the 200 EMA here. Really bearish signal for HNT. However, there's a lot to look at. The daily chart is now beginning to look like we are approaching a very critical area here towards the end of this descending triangle pattern, which is known, of course, it's not definitive, but it is known as a bearish chart pattern. Now, guys, very quickly, before we jump into what I'm looking at here on the charts, I want to really make it clear because this is something I just noticed that I find incredibly interesting, and it is your chance to get a US black spot miner basically shipped tomorrow if you really want it. As you can see here, Minted posted an update. The inventory of black spot US miners is 12,803 and current registrations as of 4 hours ago is 8,833. Of course, that can change before this is officially closed, which is tomorrow. However, there is a very good likelihood of you getting a black spot miner if you register for it. So get on over there. There'll be a link down below if you want one. You can also change your gold spot registration to a black spot if you wanted, but I really wanted to let you guys know that because if you want a black spot miner, there's a very high likelihood that it could get shipped on Wednesday if you want. Okay, so looking here on the charts, this is the daily. Of course, we have this descending triangle known as being a bearish pattern or a bearish continuation pattern. Of course, that is not always the case. However, it is not looking good here. As we can see, we are making consecutive lower lows here on these swings, very, very bad, and consecutive lower highs as well. If we look down below, we can see we are basically just going straight across here. There is no movement. The only positive we can see on the chart is a little bit of bullish divergence here on the MACD. As you can see, it seems as though the sellers are losing momentum from this area to this area, which is a good sign. It's a positive sign, but that certainly is not enough to be indicative of a move higher. However, as you can see, there probably are 4 or 5 bars left before we get to the tip of this descending triangle, so it's going to be a very big move here, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. If we go over to the weekly, it is just as worse. As we can see, these are the two accumulation areas I was predicting since we had these all-time highs here. As we can see, we have fallen below the box and we have fallen below the 200 EMA, which was the last critical level that we were looking at here, especially on the weekly. The larger the time scale, the more important, and we did clearly closed well below it, and we went down. We even went below $20 for a bit yesterday and the day before. So that is certainly extremely negative from a technical perspective. Now, one thing I would say here is that if we look, I find a lot of similarities between this box here and this box here. Of course, we made it all the way down to the bottom of this box in both scenarios, as you can see, and both closes and opens were actually the same, and there was a red candle followed by a green, as you can see in both of these. We then did close another red candle just on the bottom line of that box, which lined up with the previous candles, as you can see here as well. And then even in this box, we did end up closing and opening below the level on the box, and then we did go on to reach all-time highs after that. There could be some similarities here. As you can see, we have the same two bottoms here, the other bottom that lines up almost exactly with these, and then we we fell below and broke below and closed below. However, this is a little bit more of an extended period below, which is terrible. And we also have the 200 EMA above us now. So momentum certainly is not in HNT's favor. However, there is so much good news still happening, so many developments that are going to shape the future of HNT. The most significant of which, of course, is the migration to light hotspots. Now, guys, I did want to leave off here looking at some of the comments here on one of this posts here, which outlines a similar image here of HNT and this sort of descending triangle, however you want to look at it. This was drawn a little bit differently. However, we can see in the comments here, there are a ton of negative comments being made, which in my case, at least, as I mentioned here, I do find that to actually be a positive, because being a contrarian or being bullish when everyone else is bearish historically has proven to be very successful in multiple asset classes. It is incredibly easy to be bearish when everyone else is bearish. However, especially considering the progress and the development that is going on with HNT, I find it incredibly easy to be bullish at this point. If you believe in HNT and the development and the future of HNT 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you should be more interested in buying HNT at $21 than you were at $40 after it came off its all-time highs around $60. So it's incredibly interesting to see people saying it's going to $0, other people saying it's going to $10. As we can see here, the whole project is going down. As you can see, project sucks and is going to fizzle out. Of course, this is all, everyone here is, of course, entitled to their opinion. Here we go. Yeah, HNT is about to be a dead project. I think it is really crazy. If you are not inside the Discord, if you aren't seeing the partnerships being made, the developments happening, of course, I'm sure it's pretty easy to write this off as something that just came and now will disappear and as this person said, fizzle out. However, couldn't disagree more, and I would encourage you guys to really think long term. I also think that's probably why some of those black spot miners aren't fully registered for. I would encourage you to think this way. Imagine HNT in a year from now being $100 and everyone lining up through the door and around the corner for these miners. At the end of the day, that is going to happen again. That time will come where these miners are simply not in stock. They cannot keep up with demand. And I don't know if that's 6 months from now or a year from now, but that is surely going to happen. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree. Of course, I would not rule out going back into the high teens before we go higher, but I really don't think we will make it back to the $10 range. I mean, looking here on the chart, we would have to get down to this area. I really don't think we will make it. I do, however, think we could come retest these lows and these highs here, which are in the high 18 or $17 and $18 range. I do think that's certainly possible. Of course, anything is possible. Markets always tend to go higher and lower than you would ever expect, especially in crypto. So I'm not ruling anything out. However, I think we are certainly getting into an extremely low risk area for starting a position. And I think the prospects and the future of Helium are still as strong as they always have been. Guys, that is all I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching until the end. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already to stay up to date on the latest Helium news and analysis. Thank you all so much for being here. But that is all I have for this video. Just like that, this video is over, and I'll see you